You wake up, you go through the motions, you do exactly what's expected. Congratulations, you've just turned yourself into a walking instruction manual, easy to predict, easy to manipulate, easy to break. Predictability isn't mastery, it's surrender disguised as comfort, a quiet admission that you'd rather live inside a cage made of habits than face the wild chaos of true freedom. Being predictable means you hand over your power before the fight even begins. Your every move is announced, your strategy laid bare for anyone watching. Not just your friends, not just your acquaintances, but the ones who wish to control you, to bend you to their will. When your next step is obvious, you've already lost. Power belongs to the one who refuses to be read, the one who moves like a shadow slipping through cracks, unseen, uncertain, unknowable. Predictability is not discipline, it's a slow decay of the soul. It's the comfortable prison that dulls your edge and feeds your enemies with the blueprint of your downfall. The predictable man is a pawn on a board he never chose to play on, his moves scripted by the silent puppeteers of routine. The moment your life becomes a pattern, you become disposable. In this arena, power is the art of surprise, the skill of obscurity. The strongest do not broadcast their intentions, they whisper them to the void. They build labyrinths out of their behavior, walls so confusing that anyone who tries to penetrate them gets lost in the maze of uncertainty. The unknown is the ultimate weapon. Fear is born from not knowing what's coming next. You may think that being consistent earns trust, that reliability is the foundation of respect, but what it really builds is expectation, a dangerous monster. Expectations breed entitlement, and entitlement is the soil where betrayal grows wild. When people expect you to show up, to react, to forgive, to comply, they begin to take your presence for granted. They push your boundaries quietly until they collapse, and by then, you're already broken. Ask yourself, do you want to be a fortress or a ghost, peace or power? Because peace lives comfortably in predictability. It is the calm sea that hides no storms. Power, on the other hand, is the tempest that no one dares to sail into, erratic, fierce, uncatchable. The most formidable forces don't play by the rules, they rewrite them, constantly shifting the board so no one can keep up. Look back through history not for heroes, but for the true architects of influence. They were never transparent. They never wore their cards on their sleeves. They moved through shadows, spoke in riddles, and left others guessing. That guesswork gave them control. The fear of the unknown is what commands respect. You don't need to be loud to dominate. Sometimes silence speaks louder than the fiercest roar. Sometimes absence carries more weight than presence. Your power is not in how predictable you are, but in how unreadable you can become. Let people wonder if you're the calm before the storm or the storm itself. Let them prepare for a battle that never comes, then strike where they least expect. Unpredictability is not chaos. It is strategy cloaked in mystery. It's knowing your moves but never revealing your hand, because the moment your pattern is clear, your enemies map it, anticipate it, and dismantle it. When they understand your limits, they test them until they break you. But if they can't read your code, they hesitate, and hesitation is where you strike. You train them by your consistency every time you forgive, every time you show up, every time you respond the same way. You teach them your weaknesses. You become a script they learn to exploit, and when they exploit you, it feels like betrayal, but it's just the price of being predictable. So how do you break free? By becoming a paradox, by breaking your own rhythm before anyone else can. Speak less, delay your answers, walk away in the middle of conversations. Say no when everyone expects yes. Let your silence unsettle them. Confuse without cruelty with control. The unreadable man cannot be manipulated, because there is no code to crack. Consider the most dangerous creatures. They don't announce their moves. They watch, they wait, they strike with precision. Their power is in unpredictability. Will they flee or fight? No one knows. And that question, that uncertainty, keeps their prey trembling. If someone wanted to destroy you, how long would it take them to predict your next 3 moves? If the answer is short, you're already losing. Start creating false trails. Keep your true intentions hidden. Force everyone to second, guess everything they think they know about you, because people don't attack what they can't understand. They don't betray what they can't anticipate. they don't challenge what they fear. Be the exception, the enigma, the glitch in the system that no one can debug, vanish without warning, explode without notice, forgive sometimes, then punish twice as hard next time. Let them wonder who is walking into the room, the ally or the adversary. Keep them alert, cautious, fearful to cross your line. Fear is not just raw power. It's unpredictability incarnate. Predictability is a comfort drug not for you, but for those who want to control you. When they know you, they can disarm you without a fight. Your strength doesn't matter if your moves are a map they can follow. True power is unreadable, not unchanging. It's not about losing yourself in chaos, but mastering the art of controlled disruption. Break your own patterns before others do it for you. Be consistent without being obvious, reliable without being exploitable, kind without being predictable, because predictability in kindness is weakness, in availability is obligation, in forgiveness is permission. So here's your new rule: destroy your own rhythm, break your routines like glass, take a different path, respond with silence when anger is expected, leave them guessing at every turn. Uncertainty is your shield, your camouflage in a world full of hunters. The man who can't be mapped can't be manipulated. He is a mystery no one dares to solve. No one invades land they do not understand. No one plays a game they can't read. You want power, respect, freedom to move like a shadow in the night. Become unreadable, become the unknown. The man who cannot be defined cannot be defeated. Remember, people don't fear strength alone. They fear the unpredictable, because what they can't see, they can't prepare for. What they can't prepare for, they avoid or submit to. Predictability is a drug for the weak, a trap disguised as safety. Every habit you form, every pattern you fall into, you hand over another piece of your soul. You become a formula easy to crack, easy to break. But those who master unpredictability, they don't chase power, they become power. Look around, the world is full of people stuck on repeat, predictable, reliable, safe. And that's why they're easy to control. Predictability is a cage, a self-imposed prison for the mind and spirit. The moment your rhythm is known, your collapse is scheduled. They know when you will break, when you will forgive, when you will relent. And they wait, patient, knowing their time is coming. Ask yourself, do you want to be a pawn or the player, the map or the mystery? Power is not given to those who fit the mold. It belongs to the one who shatters it at will. You don't have to be loud or angry or violent to dominate. You only need to be unreadable. Silence can be more terrifying than rage, calm more disarming than fury, absence more powerful than presence. Make people doubt what they think they know about you. Let them walk on eggshells, not because they fear your strength, but because they can never predict your reaction. That uncertainty is control. When a man walks into a room and no one knows what he'll do, they listen, they hesitate, they wait. He owns the space before he utters a word. Compare that to the man everyone knows: his smiles, his anger, his boundaries. He may be liked but never feared, and without fear there is no respect. And without respect, power is an illusion. Stop being a book with pages they can read at will. Become the closed door with whispers behind it. The shadow that doesn't move how they expect. The storm that no one can predict. Master unpredictability, and you master perception. Master perception, and you don't chase power. Power chases you. Look at the endless loops. People get caught in the same greetings, the same answers, the same reactions. They become wind-up toys, stuck on repeat, and they wonder why they're so easy to control. Predictability is not just weakness, it's a blueprint for your destruction. Break your patterns, shatter your habits, burn the trails you leave behind, be the force that no one can predict, only respect, because once you become unpredictable, they don't just fear you, they hesitate. And in hesitation, you win. You must understand that unpredictability is a form of control that transcends brute force. It is subtle, often invisible to the casual observer. It demands discipline, not of repetition, but of constant reinvention. It is the ability to know yourself so deeply that you can deliberately dismantle your own patterns before others notice them, to become the ever-shifting wind, the elusive shadow. This is not chaos. It is precision disguised as randomness. The world around you thrives on patterns, routines, and expectations. Society craves order because order is easy to manage. The state, institutions, even relationships, they all seek to place you into a category, a box with clear labels. But power lives outside those boxes. It dances on the edges of chaos, where the map is unclear and the rules are not fixed. If you become a predictable element of society, you surrender your freedom. The system owns you before you even realize it. Imagine your life as a chessboard. Every move you make reveals a strategy. The predictable player plays to survive. The unpredictable player plays to dominate. When you play predictably, you give your opponent the advantage. They see your strategy, anticipate your moves, and prepare counterattacks. But when you throw in a move no one expects, a feint, a sacrifice, a sudden retreat, you force them into confusion. In that moment of hesitation, the power shifts. You become the master of the game. Your true strength lies in your ability to create doubt, not in others, but in yourself. Doubt is a mirror that reflects unpredictability. When you doubt your own patterns, you break free from the chains of habit. You become fluid, adaptable, elusive. You no longer answer to your impulses because you control them. You no longer respond automatically because you decide your response in every moment. This internal uncertainty is your fortress against manipulation. Think about trust. Trust is the currency of relationships, yes, but misplaced trust is the weapon of the manipulator. When people trust you because you are consistent, reliable, predictable, they begin to take you for granted. They start to push boundaries, testing your limits like a hunter testing the nerves of prey. Predictability invites this erosion of boundaries. Unpredictability, however, commands respect. It forces others to think twice before crossing your line because they cannot predict what reaction you will have. Respect and fear often get confused. Fear is deeper, more primal. It is the acknowledgement of the unknown. When people fear you, it means you hold a power they cannot measure. Respect is earned through actions, but fear is earned through presence, through the aura of unpredictability you exude. The unpredictable man does not have to shout or threaten. His silence speaks volumes. His unpredictability makes others cautious, hesitant to provoke. This hesitation is your advantage. You must learn to use your unpredictability strategically. This does not mean becoming erratic or reckless. It means mastering the art of controlled surprise. You reveal just enough to keep people interested, guessing, but never enough to be fully understood. This balance keeps your opponents off balance and your allies intrigued. You become an enigma wrapped in charm, discipline, and subtle menace. At times, unpredictability demands distance. Physical or emotional absence can be more powerful than presence. By withdrawing, you create a vacuum, an emptiness that draws others in, forcing them to wonder and speculate. This absence is a form of control. It gives you power over perception. When you appear after a period of silence, your presence carries weight, influence, and authority that would be impossible if you were always there. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and influencers understood this principle, whether consciously or not. They mastered the art of timing, silence, and withdrawal. They controlled the narrative not by force, but by mystery. They understood that power is not about being everywhere at once, but about being where it counts, when it counts, and on terms that they control. Your unpredictability also acts as a shield. The more you reveal predictable patterns, the more vulnerable you become to attack, not just from others, but from your own fears and weaknesses. When you become unreadable, you protect your vulnerabilities. No one can strike effectively if they cannot find their target. Your unpredictability becomes your armor, your camouflage in a world of hunters. But beware, unpredictability without purpose becomes chaos, and chaos destroys. True power requires intention. Every unpredictable move must be a calculated decision, a tool in your arsenal, not a symptom of confusion or indecision. You must learn to master your impulses, to channel your unpredictability into strength rather than weakness. This discipline transforms unpredictability from a liability into your greatest asset. One of the most effective ways to cultivate unpredictability is to challenge your own habits daily. Change your routines deliberately. Take unfamiliar paths. Alter your responses to common situations. Speak less than you think you should. Listen more. Make others wonder about your motives, your desires, your thoughts. When they no longer understand you, they will stop trying to control you. It takes courage to embrace unpredictability. You will face resistance from those who depend on your predictability. Friends, family, colleagues, they may push back, uncomfortable with the new unknown version of you. They may label you as difficult, moody, or unreliable. But this is the price of power. To rise above, you must be willing to lose the approval of the many, and in this loss lies freedom. Freedom to be yourself, not the version others expect. Freedom to create your own path rather than follow the well-trodden road. Freedom to command your life on your own terms. Imagine a life where every move you make confounds expectation, where your presence is a puzzle, your actions a surprise, where people think twice before assuming they know your limits. This is the life of the unreadable man, the one who does not surrender his power but keeps it close, guarded by mystery and mastery. But unpredictability is not just a tactic for survival or power. It is a philosophy of life. It teaches us to embrace uncertainty, to accept the chaos within and without. It reminds us that control is an illusion, and that true mastery comes from fluidity and adaptation. In a world obsessed with certainty, predictability, and control, choosing unpredictability is an act of rebellion. It is a refusal to be boxed, labeled, or owned. It is a declaration of independence from the scripts written by society, culture, and expectation. This rebellion is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet, subtle, and deeply personal. It is the steady refusal to be known fully by anyone but yourself. It is the constant reinvention of who you are and how you move through the world. The unpredictable man is never complacent. He is always evolving, always shifting, always renewing. His power lies not in permanence but in transformation. And this power, this fluidity, is what makes him unstoppable. Consider this: the greatest danger to those who seek to control you is not your strength, but your unpredictability. They can plan for strength, counter it, resist it, but they cannot plan for the unknown. They cannot prepare for what they do not understand. Therefore, cultivate unpredictability as your shield and your sword. Make your life a riddle wrapped in an enigma. Be the calm storm, the silent roar, the shadow in the light. Let no one map your moves, chart your course, or predict your fate. In this unpredictability, you find freedom. In this freedom, you find power. And in that power, you become the master of your destiny.